So the big tax question is this: how do wealthy people keep their money working for them when selling their business, real estate, or other highly appreciated assets without paying hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in tax? What if we, as business and real estate owners who have poured blood, sweat, and tears to growing our wealth, and who didn't hire expensive tax attorneys and CPAs to map out an exit strategy, knew their secrets? Instead of recreating the wheel, why can't we just model the way they deferred 30 to 50% in tax, paid off debt, funded their next business dream, and most importantly, leave a financial legacy to give to the causes we believe in most? What if their secrets weren't complicated at all, and you just need a guide who is a few steps ahead of you? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brett Swarts, and welcome to Capital Gains Tax Solutions. Welcome to the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as the Deferred Sales Trust is the best way for you to grow your wealth. Hey, I'm your host, Brett Swarts. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best passive income wealth advisors in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. Hey, I'm excited about our next guest. She is from the great state of Puerto Rico, but is now in Southern California. And she has a passion for not only investing in real estate, but also coaching others to do the same. In fact, she forms syndications to do such, to help people not only invest with her, but also to form their own to start their passive or active wealth building. So please welcome to the show, Jen Maldonado. Jen, thank you for being here. And I probably didn't do your last name correctly, so would you please pronounce that in the correct way?
I know it's difficult. Thank you for having me, Brett. It's Maldonado. It's a long name. We can attribute that to my dad.
Excellent. It's a great name. It's a great name. And do you ever get back to Puerto Rico and you get a chance to visit? Do you still have family there?
Oh, yes. My parents still there. I mean, who can miss that? Every year I try to go back to the paradise. Why not, right?
Why not, right? And recently they've had some incentives for taxes, right? Which is close to our heart here at Capital Gains Tax Solutions. And we can probably dive into that on the full interview. But in the meantime, would you just give our listeners a little bit about yourself, your story, and your current focus?
Oh, definitely. Well, first of all, thank you, Brett, for setting this up and bringing me to share some knowledge with the audience out there. A little bit about me. I start in a completely different background. I will say that I was always passionate about numbers, about chocolate, and about good smell. There's no other thing. And my story starts in real estate when on 2012, I start asking myself, what is that I really want to do with my life? I had this dream when I was a little girl about three things. The first one was to have the best job ever, which it was working for a chocolate factory. And I ended up working for Nestle. And the other thing is I love the fact of smelling good. For me, there's this thing, being a girl, I love the good smells. And I always was passionate about baby lotion. So I ended up working for Johnson & Johnson. And through that process, I saved them millions of dollars in very short period of times. It was, I don't know how I developed those skills, but it happened to me. But then there was a third dream. And that dream was to be in a big table, making important decisions to help people develop their wealth and also to live a fulfilled life, having that balance. And all of that happened. And on 2012, when I'm about to get one of the biggest promotions on my career as an engineer, something on my heart told me that I needed to find a different path to have the lifestyle that I wanted. And that was to have time for my family, for my friends, to enjoy life. And being an engineer in a very high paid position doesn't give you a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of commitment. And I was okay, but I'm like, I want something for me. I'm saving millions of dollars for these unknown stakeholders. But what about my friends and family? Why I cannot do this? And then I shift my question. How can I do this? And that's when I talked to my brother, and he talked to me about the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. And I remember reading that book in 2 days. And after that, I jump into a coaching session right away because I'm like, I'm doing this. And I found myself in 2014, Brett, quitting my job, like jumping without parachutes, knowing that there was no other way for me, that real estate, what was that a strategy that I was going to work on, focus on to really help, create that lifestyle, but my friends and family. And since then, I didn't look back. That was it for me.
I love it. Wow. So much there in just the last 60 or 90 seconds. But building someone else's dream, right, versus building your own dream is the first thing that comes to mind, right? But you earned your dues at Johnson & Johnson and Nestle, and then you shifted your dream, right? Your dream shifted from, working, I guess, at a big company and helping them to, hey, I want to help my own family and my own friends and have my own kind of company here, right? And so, and on top of that, you took massive action after reading the amazing book. If you haven't read Rich Dad, Poor Dad yet, get the book today. You won't regret it. So that being said, we're going to dive into your full part of your story and some of the strategies that you use to take that massive action, and some of the tips that some folks who are listening can go back and listen. But in the meantime, our podcast is focused on capital gains tax solutions, right? And so I'm curious, what's the biggest challenge you, a client or partner, has faced when it comes to a capital gains tax deferral strategy?
Oh, timing and structuring the deal. That's the biggest challenge, especially when people are coming in a 1031 exchange and they wait a week before they're about to close or 2 days before, and they have these specific requirements, and you're like, how do you do this, right? And when you have big amounts of money, it's easy to put a structure for them. When you have the right team, like when we work with people like you, Brett, that have the knowledge, the experience, we can quickly put a structure together. But sometimes that timelines, it's not very doable when you have certain amounts of quantities that is hard to place in a strategic kind of asset and investment type. So working with 1031 exchange experts, Deferred Trust, Delaware Statutory Trusts has been one of my ideas on how to handle this. I mean, there's no doubt that for every syndicator out there, when they hear I have a 1031 exchange, we don't know if we want to get excited or if we want to say, yay, another adventure, challenging time that is going to take us hours to figure out.
You nailed it on the head, right? And it's actually at the heart of why we started Capital Gains Tax Solutions, is for those frustrations and struggles that all of our clients and family and partners had faced, right? Until we learned about the Deferred Sales Trust, how it can truly provide freedom from capital gains tax, freedom from the 1031 exchange. It can save a failed 1031 exchange. And in fact, it works for businesses and primary homes and other asset classes besides investment real estate, all that they can go into the Deferred Sales Trust and then put it into a commercial real estate syndication. Like, it's the best of so many worlds. And we want to dive into more of that here again on the future episode, but you can also go to Capital Gains Tax Solutions and learn more about that. But that being said, for folks who want to connect with you, Jen, today, what's the best place for them to find you? And also, please tell us about your new book as well, real quick.
Oh, definitely. People can find me in jen@jenmaldonado.com. That's my direct email, or my website is Jen Maldonado. I love to be on Facebook and Invest with Jen. You can literally type it and you will find my group. And about the new book, we got actually this book last year. You Got This, and it was written by one of my organizations, which is the Women Real Estate Network. I found it with a couple of women, and literally it teaches women a couple of tips on how they can rock the real estate investing world. And it has different strategies, and we got to be #1 release as soon as it got out there. Very simple, pretty straightforward, give you a big pictures where you can start investing in real estate. So.
Absolutely love that. Make sure to reach out to Jen and check out her book, and especially get started. Take some action, right? Take that tip that she just said. She read that first book, and the next day she signed up for coaching, right? Accountability, encouragement, and she got all of this going after leaving the big corporate job. Although it's scary, I know it's a lot of change, but if Jen can do it and she wants to show you how to do it, connect with her. You can do it too. So thank you, Jen, for coming on the show. Again, we're going to have the full episode with Jen. We're going to dive into more of these details. But in the meantime, thank you, our listeners, for listening to the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast. As always, we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy, such as the Deferred Sales Trust, is the best way for you to grow your wealth. Hey, please share and like and comment on this, and share it with somebody who might have some tax coming up on the sale of their highly appreciated asset, and go take some massive action. Thanks so much.
You have just listened to another information-packed episode of Capital Gains Tax Solutions with Brett Swarts. We hope you enjoyed today's show and found it helpful. Visit capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to access the show notes and to access more resources. Don't forget to leave a review and join us again next time.